Lesson 4. It takes time to really know someone. You really can't know a person at a first glance or just by hanging around with them, occasionally. It takes time to not only know someone, but to also ascertain if they are on the inside, who they project on the outside. For this reason, 4 areas of research are in really knowing a person you might be interested in. And they are: 1. Expectation. 2. Interrogation. 3. Observation. And 4. Investigation. Bishop T.D. Jakes wrote, "The place to begin your research starts at home." Before you can begin to scrutinize the other person, you must recognize your own limitations, and the motivations for the relationship. Yes, to look closely at the other person, you must first look closely at yourself. It's more about knowing who you are, with the knowledge of what you want in a potential mate, and your expectations in a relationship with the mate. However, if you don't have the knowledge of you, how will you have the knowledge of what you want in a potential mate? It's only when you know who you are, and what you want, can you know who exactly can fit into your person. As a matter of fact, this helps you to properly scrutinize the other person, to see if they have, and agree with what you want in a potential mate. Importantly, be sure to communicate your expectations with the other person. That is, never assume that the other person fulfills expectations that were never discussed. Communicate it with them, and see if they have the capacity to deliver. Interrogation has to do with asking relevant questions, in order to determine your compatibility and suitability with the other person. And under this category, 20 questions to ask were laid down by the author. And the questions are: 1. What do you expect? 2. What are your most prized possessions? 3. Where do you stand on faith? 4. What was your last major relationship? How did it end? 5. What are your ideas about sexuality? 6. Do you have your HIV/AIDS status? 7. What are the secrets that you keep? Will you trust me to keep them too? 8. Have you ever been arrested, and how do you have a criminal record? 9. Do you have children, or other children outside marriage? 10. How do you feel about having children? 11. How do you feel about disciplining children? 12. What are the roles of a husband and wife for you? 13. What role do you see your parents, siblings, and extended family playing in your relationship? 14. How do you handle disagreements and disappointments? 15. What is your vision for this family? Where would you like us to be in 10 to 20 years? 16. How satisfied are you with your present career? 17. What is your debt-to-income ratio? 18. Is there any need or desire for a prenuptial agreement? 19. Do you have a will or a living will, and can we talk about it? 20. What annoys you the most about me? What do you enjoy most about being with me? Be sure to ask your significant other these questions, to be sure you both are not only compatible and suitable, but also on the same page. No matter what the other person tells you about themselves, you must never solely rely on that only. That is, you must ensure to observe their body language, gestures, actions and inactions, and the conscious or unconscious display of any character traits you may not find funny. As Bishop T.D. Jakes wrote, if you are to make an informed decision about committing your life to someone, you must open your eyes along with all your senses to see the other person. Observation is all about paying close attention to every detail, and not just to what you want to see, or hear. Does he do what he says? Does he act what he preaches? Is there integrity and unity in his words, actions, and deeds? Don't just look out for what you want to see, or hear, vigilantly observe. Yes, don't just pray only, open your eyes wide open for clues. And lastly, beyond observing the other person, you must make every effort to investigate who you are dealing with. Go through his or her social media handles, talk with his or her exes, get to know and connect with his or her family members. Observe what they love, cherish, and value. That's a clue to knowing who you are dealing with. Find out their past, present, and future. And should you find anything disturbing, then do well to call the attention of the person. Also watch out for their response, body language, and gestures. That's another clue. Investigate how they make and spend their money, their possessions, and to also ascertain whether or not they are the owner of whatever they claim to have possessed. Also, get to know where he or she works, paycheck, debts, and other vital things to look out for. Above all else, 4 areas of research in really getting to know someone you are dealing with are 1. Expectation. 2. Interrogation. 3. Observation. And 4. Investigation. Lesson 5. Compatibility is the key to satisfactory relationship. One of the most unsatisfactory experiences is to be in a relationship with someone you are not compatible with. While you must be willing to interrogate, observe, investigate, and also fine-tune your expectations, in really getting to know someone you are dealing with, it's also crucial to look out for compatibility and suitability with the other person. And to do this, the author gave 4 approaches. And they are 1. Preparation. 2. Desperation. 3. Stimulation. 4. Celebration. Painstaking preparation is the key to any endeavor. And personal relationships are not an exception from this rule. What level of compatibility do you have with this person, in the area of preparation for a sustainable relationship? Do your personal plans match with the other person's? Do you plan getting married 2 years from now, and the other person isn't in the same picture with you? Then, that might be a sign of incompatibility. As much as you have personal plans for your life, be sure that the other person's plans match yours. If not, there might be conflict, especially if they are plans that you don't want tampered with. An old adage says, desperate times call for desperate measures. That's completely true. You must never find yourself desiring to be in a relationship out of a state of desperation. You must be actively conscious of your readiness for a relationship. Likewise, importantly, be careful to not buy into anyone's desperation for a relationship. That is, if the other person is desperate for a relationship with you, that's a red flag you should consider not ignoring. There are different factors for desperation. Many people are desperate to be in a relationship because of peer pressures, perhaps age is no longer on their side, or simply by a neediness for validation, and to also belong. When you are desperate to be in a relationship, it's a sign that you are not emotionally balanced, and whole as a person. And as a matter of fact, when you are desperate, you are more likely to do the right thing at the wrong time, and even with the wrong person. Stimulation here doesn't mean sexual arousal, but the ability for the other person to, as Bishop T.D. Jakes wrote, engage your mind, excite your emotions, and ignite your imagination on a wide range of life topics. A lot of relationships today die prematurely because one or both partners have nothing to talk about. So, boredom sets in, they get tired of each other, and start looking for an escape route. Are you both intellectually compatible? Do you blow each other's minds? Do you enjoy each other's company when it comes to discussing? Are you both operating on the same level of intellectual frequency, or do you have to always bring yourself down to explain a simple concept? Are you proud of each other, mentally and intellectually? If you both are not compatible in this area, the chances of boredom setting in is high. And lastly, do you celebrate and enjoy each other? Do you both have a positive outlook toward life, amid the challenges of everyday living? Do you appreciate each other or simply tolerate each other? Do you enjoy each other or simply endure each other? You see, celebration is the ability to celebrate, and be celebrated by the other person in your life. Do you celebrate each other or tolerate each other? Lesson 6. Acceptance and respect for each other's differences is the key to building a strong and lasting bond. No two people are alike. As a matter of fact, you are more likely to attract someone who is entirely opposite of you, in personality traits. An extrovert is more likely to attract an introvert, a saver is more likely to attract a spender, an impatient person is more likely to attract a patient person. However, trouble comes when you expect the other person to act and think exactly like you. In short, it's completely impossible. You will need to accept the person for who they really are, while you work together towards adjusting to these differences. If you are a spender, then allow your partner who is more of a saver to take control of the finances. And the beautiful thing about differences is that, where you are weak, the other person will be strong for you, and vice versa. In essence, never expect a potential mate to think and act exactly like you. Accept each other, and work towards adjusting to each other's differences. More importantly, remember that these differences are differences in personality traits, not character traits. Don't mix the two together, they differ. I hope you are blessed by this. However, in case we missed any vital lesson or lessons from this book, do you mind bringing them to our notice, below in the comments section? We would love to learn from you as well. And many thanks for watching, liking, commenting, and sharing. Importantly, if you find value from this video, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, in order to be notified of every one of our newly uploaded videos. See you in our next video. And remember, we love you.